Hello and welcome to another one of our new user library training sessions. Welcome to the FSI family and the TV4Education family. My name is Quentin and I'm going to be hosting you in the session today. Now we're going to be going through the basics of how to get started with TV4Education. So you're a new school or a new administrator for the system. What do I need to do to get the system ready to go? And how do I use it? How do I train my clients on how to get access to over 180,000 digital resources. Now the session is live today. We are going to be watching the chat console. So if you do want to communicate with me today, on the right hand side of your screen, there is a chat console. You can send me your questions. You can give me some feedback on how the event is going, and we'll be able to answer those for you in the session today. All right, so without further ado, how about we jump in and get started? Let me just flick over to my screen here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to have a look at is how on earth do I log into the system? Okay, everyone should have received a welcome letter. This is for the administrators. We also have one that is dedicated for your teachers and for your students as well, that we can send out on your behalf or you can send out through the system. Okay. If you wanted to bookmark a URL, okay, go to functionalsolutions.com.au, click the login button, and the URL that appears at the top, functionalsolutions.com.au/login, is the URL that you can bookmark. You can send to students, send to teachers, and say this is where you go to log into TV4Education. Once they're here, they will put in their email address. If they are part of multiple schools, they will see all the various tiles pop up for the different schools that they're in. Otherwise, they can go ahead and just click on the school that they are registered with. Okay, for some unknown reason, my account isn't registered with a school today, so I'm just going to go straight in and log directly in. Okay, so what should happen is when they select the tile from their school, it's going to go directly to this page here. So it'll insert their username in and just be asking them for their password. If you are a single sign-on school and you're using Azure, SAML, Google, any of those any of those single sign-on facilities, it will take you directly to the password prompt of that SSO that you're using. Okay, so really, really nice and easy for you. Okay, once you're in, you are an administrator. So what you should be seeing is when you click on the little system menu in the top left-hand corner, you should be seeing a whole bunch of modules here. Now, if you're not seeing a big long list that says things like catalog, circulation, patron, etc., it means that you are not actually an administrator on the system. You need to give us a call and we'll help you sort that out. Okay, now the first thing that we need to do before we get started with the system is have a look at our security. So we are going to be allowing students and teachers to access content from TV4Education. Whilst the content in TV4Education has been curated for education and for schools, we also have TAFEs and universities that are using the service as well. So we don't just have G-rated content, which means that potentially if you don't set up your security correctly, your students will be able to watch R18 programs, which is not something that we want to happen. So, first thing we need to do with security is system menu. Then we go down to configuration and the authority editor. Okay, once you're in the authority editor, the audience drop down, we want to go and click on class grade. Now, because our customer service team members and our infrastructure team have configured your system for you, what we should be looking at is a list of all the year levels that are currently at your school. So if you're a primary school, obviously P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're a high school, 7 through to 12. If you're both, the entire list, with the addition of a couple of user groups called staff or teacher. Okay, if you're not seeing that list, you need to stop now and you need to jump on the phone to our customer service team members. What it means is that potentially there hasn't been a patron import done just yet, which means that we don't have student information, we don't have the ability for them to log in, or we do have student information, but they're not linked to any year level, which means that we can't control the security. Okay, so we need to sort that out for you ASAP. If you are seeing the list, what you need to do is next to the year level that you would like to update the security for, there is a little edit button. So you've got 2 or year 2. We've got to click on that edit icon. Okay, in here we've got a whole bunch of parameters. For the purpose of TV4Education, you can ignore all of these fields except for the one that says security. And what we recommend is that the value you put in this field here is the numerical value of the year level itself. So if we're dealing with year 2s, we should put the number 2 in that field, hit save, and then close that pop-up. We then do the same thing for our year 3s, enter in the 3, hit save, and close that pop-up. Go through and apply that security to each of the class grades that are within your school. Okay, we got 6, so we're going to change that to 6 and hit save. When we get to our staff, what we want to do with the staff is not just give them a security of 7 or give them a security of 13. We want to give them a security of 50, something that's far away from the rest of the student body security. Okay, so we've gone ahead and done that here. Security is number 50, we've hit saved, and we've closed that down. Now what we've done in this particular step here is we've told the system, okay, each of the year levels and the users that are within the year levels, they have permissions to access any video that has a security of 0 up to what we've entered into this field here. So year 4s, they can watch content that has a security of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our year 6s or our year 12s, they will be able to watch everything from 0 to 6 or 0 to 12. Okay, our staff, they are able to watch anything that has a security of 0 to 50. Okay, so what we've told the system is the range of security of content that this particular year level and its students can watch. The next thing that we need to do is we need to say to the system, okay, I know that TV4Education has applied video classifications, so G, PG, M, MA, R, to a variety of, or a number of the videos in the TV4Education collection. When those videos come in, what security do I want to assign to them? Okay, so in the same area that we're in now, which is Configuration and Authority Editor, instead of going to class grade, we want to go down to Video Default Security. Okay, and then what we're telling the system is that when a student watches the programs, what security level do we want to assign to them? So G, that's available for everyone to watch. So we're going to give it a security of 0. PG, or really the year 7s and above, are the only ones that should be able to watch PG content. So we're going to put in 7, which means year 6s can watch video content from 0 to 6. 7 is outside of that security, therefore 6s and below will not be able to watch any PG content. We've got M, which we're going to allow year 11s. save, close. MA, we're going to allow Year 12s. R-rated content is only for 50, and if for whatever reason you wanted to go and add in your own classifications so that you can apply that to potentially some material that you've recorded of the students creating content themselves, you can go ahead and do that as well. Okay, and once you've done that, what's going to happen is if the students go to log into the system and they go to the TV4Education student view, when the results load, TV4Education is going to filter out all the material from the search that they are not allowed to watch and only show them the results that they can watch. When a teacher shares that video with the class, the default security is already going to be looked after because you as the administrator have configured that on behalf of the users. Okay, so that's something that you need to do before you get started. Just a reminder, I haven't got any conversations coming through on the chat, so if you do have any questions or something isn't making sense, please make sure that you do reach out to me. I'm monitoring it and I'm more than happy to help you out today. Okay, so now that we've done what I need to do to get started with the system, we're going to jump in and have a look at how do I go about managing users in the system. Okay, so we do that by going back to the system menu, clicking on Patron, and then going to Patron Management. Now, we do have a facility where you can import bulk lists of users into the system. We're not going to be going through that today because today is a beginner user training. That's more of an advanced function, and the import should have already been done for you as part of the onboarding process by the customer service team. Okay, if it hasn't been done so already, as I said earlier, make sure you contact us. We'll help you out to get that started. What we're going to be looking at in Patron Management is making small adjustments, adding 1 or 2 users just ad hoc, not doing a big bulk import, and maybe deleting some users. Okay, so in this particular screen here, I can see navigation buttons down the bottom, which will allow me to navigate through the collection of my users. I can click on Find and I can locate a user by first name, surname, parent name, email address, depending on what information is in the database. Okay, once they load, I can then modify some of that information simply by just putting my cursor in the field and start typing. Okay, once I've gone ahead and made the changes that I wanted to for this user, let's say that I've added their email address and they've gone up a year level at the beginning of the year, we can get rid of the year 10 and make them a year 11 student. Now, watch what happens to the security field when I click Save. Okay, so because we've gone and set up all of that stuff before that says if you're a year 11 student, you can see year 11 content. When I selected year 11 for this particular user and hit Save, the system rebuilt all those securities for me at that point in time. If I want to go ahead and add a brand new user into the system, down the bottom in the toolbar is a new button. I click New and I just start typing the information. For the barcode, it is a mandatory field for our system. My recommendation is to put the user's email address into that field if you are a TV4Ed only user. If you're using our platform for both library and TV4Ed, my recommendation would be to enter the student enrollment number as the barcode. Okay, their username, if you know their network username, you can enter it in there as well. First name, surname, email address, year level, okay, homeroom, and then make sure that if they are a student, the role is set to student, which is the default value. Okay, now when I go to click Save, see here how we've got email login selected. That's always ticked by default. What's going to happen is when I click save, system's going to automatically generate a password for this user, and it's going to email them a notification of this is the URL to log into the system, this is your username, this is your temporary password, please reset it on your first login. Okay, if you don't want that email to go out, deselect it, hit save, and the system is going to add that user in for you. If you are dealing with a teacher, please make sure that the user role is not student, they are a teacher. If you do not do that step for any teachers, they will not have access to TV4Education search page, so they won't be able to find new material from the library. They will not be able to interact or engage with our learning advisors through the request facility. They will not receive the welcome letters. They will not receive our monthly program guides with all the interest area information for the various curriculum areas. And they will not have access to create, manage, and send smart classrooms activities through the platform either. So all of those functions are tied to the user role of teacher. Okay, please make sure that all your teachers have that user role. If they don't, we can show you how to apply that on a bulk level for all the staff members. But if you do have a staff member that says, hey, there's not a lot of content on TV4Education, and you go and have a look and they're searching the schools collection instead of the TV4Education page, you'll know straight away, whoops, they don't have teacher rights. Okay, and you'll need to go ahead and apply that. If this user is no longer at your school, terms and conditions of TV4Education require that only users that are enrolled or employed by your school have access to TV4Education. To disable their account, look them up in Patron Management, click on the delete button. Are you sure? Yes, I am. And they're off the system. Okay, so managing users, very simple. As I said, don't be alarmed that, oh no, I have to add all of my 800 students onto the system one at a time. We do have that import facility. It is very quick, it is very easy. There are instructions on how to do it, or you can get a CSV file and flick it over to our customer service team members, and we will do it on your behalf. Okay, now that we've set up the system with our security and we know how to manage our patrons, let's jump in and have a quick look around TV4Education. Okay, now there are two screens that are available. When we go to search, we have the schools collection. Now this is your private school's library of all the digital resources that have been used by other teachers at your school. A very proactive school may have 2,000 videos in their collection per year, and that is like really extreme scenario. Remembering that our library is over 180,000 resources, that is only a drop in the ocean. So if your teachers are trying to come to this screen and find digital resources, they're not going to be able to find the correct material because they are looking at a very small subsection of what is actually available through TV4Education. So you need to make it very clear to your teachers that if they are searching the page that says schools collection, and you can see that in the tab up the top here, that tab is the content that has been moderated by other teachers at this school. You need to make sure that they click TV4Education and they search there. Okay, the big difference between the two screens is that the TV4Education screen, the one for the teachers, has that white background and the big TV4Ed logo in the top left-hand corner. Okay. When they come to this screen, we have a number of categories that have loaded, so the recently added resources to the library. You can see documentaries and movies. This little category here, Learning Tube, That's our premium educational content that our learning advisors have been able to tag and directly link to curriculum outcomes. Okay, so you can go through and have a look at some of the resources in those sliding tiles there. Otherwise, if you go and chuck in a search at the top, put in your search term, your curriculum codes, subject areas, topics, the videos will come up, and you'll see here that where we were on home before and it was green, saying that we are on the home page, it's now looking at the TV4Education library. So this is all of our free-to-air content, our Foxtel content, our vodcasts and podcasts. If I'm going through here and I think, I wonder what they've got in the lessons library, you can click on lessons and it will search all of our digital lessons and resource lists for the search term biology. I can then open that up, I can have a look at what that lesson is all about, and if I would like to, I can add that to my library and start using that full comprehensive interactive lesson with my students. If I want to see what else YouTube has, I click on YouTube and I get to see all the YouTube files or videos that our learning advisors have said, hey, these particular YouTube videos are really cool for this particular subject area. Or I could see the global YouTube library and everything that's been unmoderated. Okay. If I find a resource from any of those libraries on TV4Education that I think is going to suit my requirements, clicking on the tile is going to load the bibliographic record and we'll start playing the video behind it. After a couple of seconds, that information will automatically disappear so I can watch the video. If I want to get that information back, right hand side of the video, I click on the eye and that brings it back so I can review that further. If I want to share this particular video with my students, or I want to grab a URL so I can put that into a resource document, clicking on the share icon is going to load the share properties. Now in here, it allows me to select which year level I want to secure this video with. So at the beginning, when we set up our security for video access, we are doing that on a global level. We also allow the teachers to override that. So let's say that this is a M-rated video, but we would like to share this with our Year 9 students anyway. As a teacher, I can select Year 9 and it's going to build a encrypted URL that is unique to me as the teacher and my session. So it's not going to change the security of that video for anyone else that's accessing the program. Users will only be able to access the program in Year 9 using this URL. If they lose that URL, they will not be able to come to TV4Education and search for the video themselves. They have to use that one there. As a result, we do also have the ability to expire it. So if, as a teacher, we only want this to be available for 2 weeks, we select the date we want it to expire on, and that URL has been rebuilt again for us. So if I now take that and I send that to my entire school faculty, school environment, only the Year 9s and above will be able to access this video up until the 3rd of the 11th. After that date, because this video is M, only my Year 11s and above will be able to access it. Year 9s and 10s will not have access through that link any longer. Okay. If, as a teacher, I'm looking at this bibliographic record and I think, I wonder what else they've got on Earth and Environment Science. If I click on that, it's going to go back to the system and re-execute a search for all the other videos that are in that same subject area. Okay, each time a teacher begins watching a program, each time they share the link, the system is monitoring the behavior of the teacher And it's looking at a number of algorithms that we have built into the system and deciding whether or not this particular video is going to be used again by that teacher. If it is, and we can see that there is some interest in this video, the system is going to automatically port it across to the My School collection. Okay, it's going to port it across with all the security and the bibliographic record that we set up at the beginning of the session. And that way, other students that are in the year level of Year 9 but don't have access to the TV4Education search will be able to see that video in amongst all the other books if you're using the library management system, or all the other videos that are part of the personal school collection, private school collection. Okay. So as far as TV4Education goes, that's really the basics on how to get started with TV4Education. We run a minimum of 8 YouTube training sessions every week, varying from the library right across to our TV4Education platform. We have some excellent videos on the channel all about the Smart Classrooms module, how to edit videos, how to add automatically marked questions so that via one URL, your students will be able to watch the videos, answer some questions, and submit all their results back to the teacher and have our system mark it all for the teachers. Okay, that's all available through YouTube. And as I said, we will continuously be running live events. So if you wanted to point your teachers back to the channel as well, have a look at when those events are coming up, and they will be able to join in one of these sessions and ask our technicians any questions that they may have. The last thing we're going to talk about quickly is, okay, I'm a new user, I've gone through the training, but I've got questions. How do I get answers to my questions? The first way is by going back to the menu and heading over to support. Okay, top one there is contact support. So that's going to take you over to the system mailbox where you can submit a support ticket. That's going to go to our customer service team members, and they will be able to help you out with any questions that you may have. The next thing under support is our help library. This will allow you to either search for how do I add a teacher, how do I do bulk imports, okay, or you can click on the TV4Education category and you can just go through and have a look at all the different articles and videos that are available there. Okay, if I click on training videos, that's going to take me over to the YouTube live channel for Functional Solutions International. Make sure that you subscribe after the event and you click the bell, and that will make sure that whenever we organize these events, whenever we go live with these events, you will receive notification and you'll be able to go, hey, look, I'm going to make sure that I'm available tomorrow at 1:15 because they're going through how do I edit videos with TV4Education. Okay, if you scroll down, you can go through and have a look at either the recorded live events that we've done in the past or the videos that we have uploaded. So here you can see we've got a series on building lessons using smart classrooms, and they're all really short videos. Creating is 49 seconds, adding teaching material, 1:30, etc., etc. There's also a quick start guide in there, so that's going to be a printable PDF on all the functions that we believe users will use in the first 6 months of having the system. And there's also a community, so you can reach out to other users that are on Smart Suite Library and TV4Education and ask them questions about it as well. The last thing that you can do, bottom right hand corner, and this is a facility that's only available for our administrators, is the concierge service. So as a new user that's on the system, this will be a priority hotline that comes directly to our customer service team members. Type your questions in there, and you're not dealing with a bot, you're actually coming directly to team members that are in our customer service centers. So they will be able to answer any of your questions live, real time, without any delay. If you've got issues, if you've got errors, if there's things like I need to set up my students so that they can access the system as well, we can help you straight away. Okay, so thank you so much for attending the session today. Again, my name is Quentin. I hope you got a lot out of the session. Make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you hit the bell just to make sure that you're receiving those notifications. And we will catch you next time on one of our YouTube live training sessions. Thanks very much, guys. See you later.